Hi, this is Agnieszka from the Oak Tree Language Services. Welcome to my videos on how to be a good language learner. In this series of videos I talk about skills and attitudes that may be helpful when you're learning a new language. In the previous video I was talking about an ear for words, and in today's video I will be talking about inquisitiveness. By inquisitiveness, I mean the ability or readiness to ask native speakers and near-native speakers of English questions about language use. And I will be talking about four areas connected to asking questions. Area number one, what it takes to ask questions. Area number two, what questions to ask, and area number three, what not to do, and area number four, where to find people if you're not in a foreign country. So let's start with what it takes to ask questions. It definitely takes courage. You show yourself, you show some weakness of yours in that you are learning something and you may not know things. That's why you ask. It will take interpersonal skills. It's good to realize whether the person you are asking is able to look at language only and speak about language only, and is willing to do so. It will be happy to have this conversation. It also takes social skills. You need to ask yourself the question, is it the right moment to ask such a question? You won't ask it when you're entering a bus. You will ask it when you're in a relaxed situation. Now, what questions do you want to ask? You want to ask about things that can not be checked easily elsewhere. For example, the differences between different words, different similar words, or whether a word refers to people or to objects, for example, or vocabulary connected with dialects that is used only locally, or local names. You may want to ask what something means if it's very colloquial, for example. It's also a good idea to ask about what to say in particular social situations. Now, what not to do? I think it's a good idea not to ask too detailed questions or too many questions at the same time, to make sure your partner is not overwhelmed and that their ignorance doesn't get disclosed in any way. There are always things we don't know, but it's not a pleasant thing to show that. And finally, you may ask yourself a question, where to find native speakers if you're not abroad in an English-speaking country. Well, there are several places you could turn to, or ideas you could try out. Perhaps you have a colleague at work who's a native speaker. Don't miss out on the chance to have coffee with them. Don't miss out on the chance to spend the break with them. Perhaps you have a native speaker in your family. You might want to have a conversation at dinner time with them. You might want to look out for free conversation classes. They're advertised on Facebook sometimes. There's always someone wanting to learn, perhaps willing to give free conversation classes. Maybe your language school has additional free conversation classes. Check that out and make sure you don't miss them. You may also want to look for a language exchange where people from different countries come and meet and talk in different languages in return for a language that you know, or your native language. Or if you have a friend who teaches English and they're quite fluent, you might want to organize a skill exchange with them in return for a question and answer session. Always remember to thank the person for answering your question, and I'm sure this will create memorable learning moments where you can talk about vocabulary, talk about words, their use, about their emotions, and remember them because of this memorable moment of conversation with somebody. So this is all I have to say about being inquisitive. If you enjoyed the video, look out for the next one, and I will see you next time. Bye.